Have you ever wondered how safe your financial resources are against the rising tide of inflation? It's a question that's on many minds, especially in these uncertain times. You see, inflation is a bit like a stealthy pickpocket quietly eroding the purchasing power of your hard-earned money. It's a constant, creeping force that can gnaw away at the value of your savings, investments, and even your income. Understanding and protecting your finances against inflation is not just crucial, it's an absolute necessity in today's economic climate. Because let's face it, no one wants to find out that their nest egg is worth less than they thought, right? But the good news is, there are strategies available to help you weather the storm of inflation. Methods that can help you safeguard your financial future from this often silent, but potentially destructive economic phenomenon. If you're not sure, don't worry. Today we uncover some strategies to help safeguard your finances against potential inflation. First, it's crucial to understand what inflation is and how it works. Inflation is essentially the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, purchasing power is falling. Think of it as a silent thief, steadily eroding the value of your money over time. When inflation strikes, everything becomes more expensive, from groceries to gas, from rent to recreation. It's like a wave that lifts all prices, leaving you struggling to keep your financial head above water. And it doesn't just affect your daily expenses, it can also gnaw away at your savings, reducing the real value of money you've tucked away for the future. But it's not all doom and gloom. Inflation can also stimulate economic growth, as it encourages spending and investment. However, the key is balance. Too much inflation can lead to economic instability, while too little can stifle growth. Getting a grip on inflation is the first step towards protecting your finances effectively. One of the best strategies to protect against inflation is diversifying your investment portfolio. Just as a balanced diet is crucial for our physical well-being, diversification is vital for the health of our investments. It's a strategy that helps to spread risk across a variety of assets and sectors, minimizing the potential for loss and providing a cushion against the unpredictable ups and downs of the market. So, how exactly does diversification work? Picture your investment portfolio as a pie. Rather than filling the whole pie with a single ingredient, you add a variety of flavors to make it more wholesome and satisfying. Similarly, an investment portfolio should be a mix of different types of assets such as stocks, bonds, real estate, commodities, and even cash. The beauty of diversification lies in its ability to mitigate the effects of inflation. When inflation rises, it often affects different sectors and asset classes in various ways. For instance, while inflation may cause the value of cash to diminish, it may simultaneously lead to an increase in the value of real estate or commodities. By having a diverse portfolio, you're better positioned to weather the storm of inflation, as the impact on one asset could be offset by the performance of another. Let's consider an example. Suppose you have a diversified portfolio consisting of stocks, bonds, and real estate. If inflation causes bond yields to rise and stock prices to fall, your real estate investments might simultaneously experience a surge in value, helping to balance out the overall performance of your portfolio. Bear in mind, diversification is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It should be tailored to your individual financial goals, risk tolerance, and investment horizon. A young investor with a high risk tolerance and a long-term investment horizon might lean more towards stocks, while a retiree who prioritizes capital preservation might favor bonds and cash. Remember, diversification is not about putting all your eggs in one basket, but spreading them across multiple baskets. It's about creating a balanced and resilient portfolio that can stand the test of time and inflation. Next on our list is investing in inflation-protected securities. But what are these exactly? Well, inflation-protected securities are types of federal bonds whose principal, or the initial investment, is adjusted based on changes in the inflation rate. This means that as inflation increases, so does the value of the bond, protecting the investor's purchasing power. Now you might be wondering how these work. Let's break it down. When you purchase an inflation-protected security, you're essentially lending money to the government. In return, the government pays you interest over a set period, typically every 6 months. But here's the catch. The amount you're paid is adjusted for inflation. So if inflation goes up, so does your interest payment and vice versa. But what are the benefits? The main advantage is that these securities offer a guaranteed return above inflation, regardless of the economic climate. This makes them a reliable hedge against inflation. However, it's essential to understand that they do come with risks. If deflation occurs, the principal of the bond can decrease. Moreover, the interest rate is generally lower than other types of investments. In conclusion, inflation-protected securities can be a good strategy for those looking to protect their investment from inflation. They provide a way to maintain the purchasing power of your money over time. But remember, like all investments, they come with their own risks. Inflation-protected securities can offer a reliable hedge against inflation, but like all investments, they come with their own risks. Last but not least, building an emergency fund is another smart way to protect yourself against inflation. Now, you might be wondering, how does an emergency fund relate to inflation? Well, it's all about financial preparedness. An emergency fund is like a financial safety net that can catch you during unexpected economic downturns, including those caused by inflation. See, when inflation surges, the cost of goods and services shoot up. This can strain your regular budget, especially if your income doesn't increase at the same rate. That's when your emergency fund steps in. It can help cover these unexpected costs, keeping your day-to-day life running smoothly without the need to dip into your long-term investments. Building an emergency fund is not a one-day affair. It's a consistent effort. Start small, save regularly, and aim to have at least 6 months' worth of living expenses set aside. An emergency fund might seem like a basic step, but it's a crucial one in safeguarding your finances against inflation. So, to wrap up, we've gone over understanding the concept of inflation, the significance of diversifying your investment portfolio, and the benefits of investing in inflation-protected securities. We've also underscored the importance of building an emergency fund. These are all key strategies to safeguard your finances against the potential impact of inflation. With these strategies in hand, you are now better equipped to protect your finances against inflation. Remember, the key is to plan ahead and stay informed. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more financial tips.